Hi, this is Yeliz Eseryel. Thank you so much for considering me for this wonderful award. I will present elements of my teaching categorized under 7 characteristics of effective teaching. Enjoy. For each of the 7 characteristics of effective teaching, I will present a slide that looks like this, which provides selective comments from anonymous student feedback related to that characteristic. Please feel free to pause the video to be able to read these slides. For example, about the organization of the subject matter and the course, the students find that the courses are well structured, they are easy to navigate, and the Canvas website is typically very well organized. Here I share parts of the introduction video for one of my courses. I added comments to my teaching video clips highlighted in yellow to indicate how that part of the video relates to the 7 characteristics of effective teaching. In this video, I will briefly introduce what business analytics is, how it relates to your degree in management information systems, and why it is important for your career, as well as introducing myself and then going over to how the course is organized. For effective communication, I use well-designed slides that create a mental picture of complex concepts for my students. I avoid clutter and long text on the slides. I communicate effectively by teaching through interactive discussions with my students. As you all know, students can get self-conscious when making comments. For that reason, I communicate norms for our class at the beginning of the course. One of the norms is that our classrooms are safe space. It is okay to make mistakes in my class. My students understand that we all learn by making mistakes. This allows the students to ask questions easily. I also talk to my students outside the class and ask them how the courses are going for them. So, business analytics is a fantastic and very fascinating area. So, what do we do in business analytics? We analyze massive amounts of data to understand various things about our business. For example, we can understand what has happened in the past, so we can analyze the trends. We can estimate what might happen in the future. We can also be prescriptive and say, what should we do in the future? Connect to your field of management information systems. Basically, you have learned that information technology is hardware and software. We do at MIS is implementing systems but we also could be designers and users of different business analytics reports and technologies in order to help serve the organization. During my own education, my favorite instructors were those who blended their industry experience with theory. So I took them as role models in my own teaching. I use storytelling method and bring interesting stories, examples, documents, and snippets from my industry experience. Next, I present a video clip that shows how I connect student experiences and my own industry experience to concepts from the book. Every time you check out at a store, you create one line in a transactional database. In one of my implementations, we developed a data warehouse system for all of the company's transactional data and analyzed it with business analytics methods, which was so powerful in not only understanding companies' trends, but also predicting the future. I completely redesigned this course by analyzing the oldie cutting edge books and accompanying learning systems. And I found a fantastic book for you from Cengage. Along with MindTap, which gives you really enjoyable exercises that helps you visualize what's happening in the background and learn in a fun way. The Canvas course homepage provides you access to all of the modules that are covered in this course. In addition, we have a course project which has different milestones. So the way I organize the course is that you learn an aspect of statistics and then you implement it to a real course project. I also provided you with bonus assignments that focus on using statistics in Excel. Every week, you will get an announcement that basically summarizes what you're supposed to do that week. You may also check out the contents of a certain week by clicking on that week from the homepage. Each week's module provides that week's overview, access to the book chapter, and relevant videos, as well as Spark notes from me and additional resources that I developed for you. Next, I will discuss how I use alternative teaching strategies to reach all students. Feel free to pause this slide to be able to read the comments from students on this. Knowing that different students have different ways of learning, I provide different media and various options for their learning. They have access to 10, 15 minutes chapter videos, their transcriptions, audio recordings, and PowerPoint slides, in addition to recordings of live Q&A sessions. Another method is to augment my teaching with online courses such as LinkedIn Learning and or SAS courses that the students can do on their own time, and then they can get a certification that makes them more attractive to recruiters. I love innovating in courses. For example, I applied active learning principles by flipping classroom. And after learning from me, the student groups had to come up with innovative and very fun ways of teaching the concepts to the rest of the classroom. One group was especially successful in meeting the learning objectives by writing a poem that was fun and very rappable. Another innovation that the students absolutely loved was to have end of class reviews using Kahoots, which gamified and had them compete against each other. So they really had fun. The anonymous student comments also show that they absolutely loved these quizzes and they found them very useful. At the College of Business, our goal is to educate our students to come out as business professionals. So one of the best ways to teach is to incorporate a large course project where the students go out as teams and find a real client and implement what they learned to the client project. In my systems analysis and design course, my students do exactly that, and thereby they're contributing to the local community and regional community. I also, instead of having them present, make long, boring presentations that nobody watches, I have them do digital or physical poster sessions. So each individual person presents their poster to the other teams as well as to the clients who come to watch them. And then they rotate every 5 minutes. So everybody ends up presenting the whole poster and everybody ends up watching the other posters. So this is a lot of fun and it's a very dynamic process. So their design systems are really complicated. That includes how the data will be processed, what the databases will look like, and what the user interfaces will look like for the system. My students' clients range from entrepreneurs that found their own company to local high schools to large companies such as Duke Health or Dell or even ECU College of Business. Next, I will present a snippet from one of the students' presentation of their project that they have done for Duke Health.
We worked with Duke Facility Planning, Design, and Construction at Duke Health. And essentially, our system is for the project management department. And right now, currently, the project management department has a lot of different systems they use individually that don't dynamically update between each other. And so our goal was to design a system that allows one thing to update and have the others follow along with it. So to start, we have a secure connection through a VPN, through a two-factor authentication service, Duo Security. We have three different data stores talking to the IT department to connect to that securely. That leads to the project manager into our own project management software. So instead of using a third-party software, using our own task allocation system, that comes down to here. There's two screenshots of what our task allocation system would look like. Here, you can select which vendor you want to talk to, and then you can track their response, and that goes along. That's elaborated on in our use cases, which are not on here, but there's the QR code if you want to scan it. Then we come down into project initiation planning, and this is what it looks like in a visual aspect, and that's an important part because if a client wants to change anything about their project or initiate a new project, this is the first step that they fill out on our system to get a project manager's attention to start planning out the budget, how to manufacture it, what's the timeline, what's the work breakdown structure.
Of course, students are given exams, quizzes, and mini exercises which reflect how well they learned the material. In addition, they are being graded on real company projects as we have just seen. This allows the students to appreciate the relevance of the material they learned, and hopefully, it brings about positive changes in their attitudes and values. I strongly believe that having the opportunity to teach our students is a privilege. I really believe in what I'm teaching, and therefore, it is very important to me that every student pushes themselves and learns as much as possible from my classes. Having said that, I also care about students as individuals. Beyond the subject matter, I try to help every student reach their potential. I make myself available to my students outside the class using multiple means. I find that the students are very comfortable communicating via text. Therefore, for the last 15 years, I have been giving my students my personal phone number. This allows me to get back to them quickly. The students can ask very complex questions and can get immediate feedback. Also, when the answer is very complex, I can voice record my answer and they can listen to it multiple times and also share it with their team members. If I see that a student is having a major challenge, I can text them for permission to call them. This allows me to support the students and help them stay positive, even regarding difficult assignments. Of course, I want our students to learn. At the same time, if the students are willing to work for it, I want them to be able to get a good grade too. So, to be fair to them, I do the following. I provide very detailed description of the assignments and also of the exams. I give them sample exams and sample assignments that received good and bad grades. And most importantly, my students have access to a very detailed rubric for each assignment. Like the rest of the faculty in my department, I also use summative evaluation methods, such as quizzes and exams. Yet all of my courses require teaching and learning of very complex methods that are difficult to understand and apply. Thus, I also use formative evaluation methods. For example, I give students 4 to 5 large and connected assignments that are part of a project. To help them learn, I allow them to submit their assignment and I give them very detailed written feedback. I then allow them to fix their mistakes and resubmit. My students really appreciate that, as can be seen in their anonymous comments. This method allows every student to learn by doing. I also think that it helps them to be less afraid of making mistakes. Rather, they learn and grow by working through their mistakes. Thank you so much for allowing me to share the characteristics of my teaching.